The next area I want to talk to you about that you can really shine as a hero dad is when your woman's milk fully comes in. All right, so the first day or two in the hospital or after she gives birth, wherever you gave birth, birthing center, hospital, your home, wherever you are, after your woman gives birth, the first milk that she produces is called colostrum. And it's a very thick, nutrient-rich milk that in the birthing world they call, it's like liquid gold. It's really full of nutrients, okay? And when your woman's breasts really start to fill up within, day 2, 3, every woman is a little different, although that's about the time when all of her milk really lets down and her boobs start to fill up with the milk, okay? What happens is engorgement happens, okay? And you really can shine here by helping her. So how can you help her if her boobs are engorged, right? So how can you help her when her boobs get engorged? There's a few things that you can do that'll really help you to shine, okay? The first is helping her to hand express some of that milk, right, to get the pressure out. When her boobs are engorged, it means that the pressure is so high, she wouldn't even be able to breastfeed, because when her boob gets engorged, it pushes the nipple out and your baby can't even latch because the surface area is so taut. So we need to relieve some of that pressure and also some of that colostrum and milk. So we want to help her to relieve some of that pressure. And this is how you're going to do that. You're going to say, hey babes, let me help you relieve some of that pressure, okay? And you're going to take her breast in your hand. You're going to take both hands together. You could be behind her, right? So if you're the woman sitting down, you could be behind. You could be next to her, okay? You're going to take your hands and you're going to come behind the nipple and you're going to pull back on her breast, and with your thumbs, you're going to massage. You're going to massage down, and you can move your hands to different positions, right? So you're going to help express some of that milk and relieve the pressure, because your baby can't suck it out because the tension's so high. And your woman, she could put a spoon under her breast, okay, under the nipple, and collect some of that colostrum, or if it's even further ahead, her boobs, her timing is off, when she starts pumping, engorgement happens, okay? Not just in the beginning, but it often happens in the beginning when she is, it often happens in the beginning when she's first, her milk is coming in. However, it does happen throughout breastfeeding, okay? So you take your hands, she could have a spoon, because look, you can spoon feed the baby that milk. You just take the spoon and spoon feed the baby that milk. You don't need to just toss it, okay? It's liquid gold. It's really healthy stuff. So again, here's the technique. Take your hands, and look, this is intimate stuff, right? You're talking about building a connection with your woman through this transition into parenthood, and even further, she's not going to forget that you were mature enough to be like, hey babes, let me help you. I know what to do. Just trust me, okay? I'm going to help you relieve some of that pressure. It's only going to make her love you more, okay, to be able to do this and mature enough to help her this way. Take your hands, pull back over her breast, and you're milking, okay? That's what you're doing. You're milking her breast. Bring your hands back, and you can move your fingers this way, okay? You can move them that way. And you're milking some of the milk out of her breast manually to relieve the pressure, okay? Very, very relevant to do. Next is having cold cabbage leaves in the refrigerator. So when her breast becomes engorged, you want to make sure that there's no areas, specific like highlighted areas of like red, swollen little areas, okay? Because there's a difference between having engorgement and her having an infected duct, right? If one of the ducts is infected, and that's going to be like a localized, kind of looks like maybe a pimple might look, like red, pinpointed spot that's kind of red and tender. That very well could be an infected duct, and that's a call to her OB or midwife, a primary care doctor, okay? And then, that would be the most relevant thing you can do, is recognize that she has one of those areas, and she very well might know because she's in touch with her boobs, okay? However, you could recognize, hey, this area looks, there's a pinpoint area here, honey. I don't like how that looks. Why don't we call your OB midwife, all right? So if there's not one of those areas, her boob is just engorged and swollen, look, it's painful. It's painful. It's swollen, right? So number one, you could help reduce the pressure. Number two, cold cabbage leaves. So when you're out, you're coming home from work, always have some cold cabbage leaves in the fridge for her. Why? You say, hey babes, her boobs are engorged even between feedings to help them to feel a little bit better. Cold cabbage leaves in the bra around her boob helps decrease the swelling. It feels good. And there's even actual chemicals in the cabbage leaves, right? Nutrients, I guess, in the cabbage leaves that help suck out the swelling. So you can bring in cold cabbage leaves. Hey, babe, stick these in your bra. It's going to help bring down the swelling. Just does. And look, when they lose the coldness, you could put some fresh ones. It's a cabbage leaf, okay? And just toss it. Cold cabbage leaves really help to bring down swelling and ease that, the redness and the tenderness of her breasts. Just works, okay? Next is a lactation little massaging tool, all right? The lactation professionals, it is an amazing little tool, all right? At all the seminars, and workshops at the lactation conferences, it always gets a giggle because, they talk about going through security with babies, and ultimately this little massaging tool is a little vibrator, okay? And it's made and designed for the breast. It helps for the letdown and relaxation of the ducts, and it feels good and decreases swelling. I'm one of the first ones to say, you don't need to buy every single gadget and device and new thing. However, it really works, okay? And it's very helpful. And if you were considering buying a little helpful gadget, this little lactation massaging vibrating tool is something very relevant. It works, it helps, it feels good, it helps them to bring the milk down and stimulate even the milk production. So that's an excellent, excellent tool, all right? Okay, so we are about to get into actually feeding your baby a bottle. However, I thought it was very important for you to have kind of a generalized understanding, especially if your woman's breastfeeding, the process that it takes a lot, that is sometimes challenging. There's a lot of good support, how great it is for us to support them breastfeeding. Very healthy for our baby, okay, for their development. I mean, we could talk for hours and hours and hours and days about the benefits. It's very positive. About asking about what her goal is to support her, hydration, how to help reduce her swelling when she's engorged. You are so relevant, dude, right? Being able to put these things in play. The next step in your relevance is being able to actually feed the baby when your woman, if she's breastfeeding, when she decides to start pumping her breast milk, and or if day one you guys were bottle feeding with formula. The next thing we're covering is how to actually feed your baby, okay? Feed them a bottle successfully.